Hey guys, it's Mike. Welcome to my What's in the Bag video. Today we're going to have a look at some of the equipment I'm using in my golf bag. Okay, first of all we're going to have a look at the putter I'm using in my bag. This is the Scotty Cameron Futura XR. I've been using this putter for about 2.5 years now. Got great feel, looks great behind the ball. I've putted really well with this in the past, and I know if I'm not putting well, it's more to do with my stroke and less to do with this putter. At the moment I've got a really thick Super Stroke Jumbo grip on it. This is purely to do with the grip I'm using, which you'll be able to see. This grip just helps me get my elbows a little bit more tucked in and helps me make a better stroke. So moving on to wedges, I've been using the Callaway Mac Daddy forged wedges. I've got these in a 58, a 54 and a 50 degree. I have the 58 bent to 2 degrees flat, the 54 1.5 degrees flat and the 50 1 degree flat. This is purely because when you're chipping and pitching around the greens, you don't want the heel of the club digging into the floor. So this just helps me strike the ball a little bit cleaner. I've been using these wedges now for probably 6 to 8 months, I'd say. Gotten on really well with them. They feel great, perform really well. Got absolutely no issues with them whatsoever. So moving on to the irons I've been using the Callaway Apex Pro forged irons. I've been using these for probably the last 2 years now, so I've had them in my bag quite a long time. I've got them in an extra stiff nip-on modus shaft, and I've got them just with standard Golf Pride Mid Plus grips with a couple wraps of tape underneath. I've found these irons really consistent. They produce a great ball flight, they feel great. And the shafts in these, if I was ever to change my irons, I would definitely keep the same shafts. Okay, so now moving into the top end of my golf bag. I've got a TaylorMade M3 2 hybrid at 17 degrees. Having the 2 hybrid just allows me to hit a little low ball flight into the wind to find fairways if I need to, or hit it a bit higher into long par 5s. I've got this club in a stiff Tensei blue shaft. Okay, so now moving on to my 3-wood. I've been using the TaylorMade M3 3-wood. I've got again this in a stiff Tensei blue shaft. I've been using this again for about 6 to 8 months. Honestly, this has been one of my favourite clubs in my golf bag. It's got the most consistent ball flight out of probably any of my clubs. Produces a really high launch, but still gets a lot of distance. Okay, so now let's take a look at my driver. I've been using the TaylorMade M3 driver now for the last 6 to 8 months. I've found it really consistent, performs really well. I've got the weights set slightly further back in the head and the loft opened up just slightly. So it's 9.5 degrees set to about 10 degrees just to get the ball carrying a little bit further in the air. I've got it in the extra stiff Tensei blue Mitsubishi shaft. I found it really consistent, gives me great ball flight, and just a really good all-round solid driver. Okay, so now let's move on to my golf ball. I've been using for the last year the TaylorMade TP5 golf ball. This is a premium golf ball, so it is quite expensive, but I found it performs really well and also lasts really well. Recently I've been experimenting with the Bridgestone Tour BX golf ball. This is the golf ball that Bryson DeChambeau's been using, obviously winning a lot with the last few months, and it's really solid. I could happily switch between either of these golf balls. The biggest difference for me is performing in windy conditions. The TaylorMade just doesn't seem to be as affected by the wind, but I could happily use either of these golf balls in my bag. Okay, so now let's move on to golf gloves. I got sent these about 2 months ago from G4. They're great quality. They come in a huge range of colours and they're not too expensive. It's nice to have something other than just your white or black standard golf glove. Okay, so now let's move on to my rangefinder. So I've been using the Bushnell X7 Slope Pro. This is a really solid rangefinder. It does have the slope edition on it, so you can use it in practice rounds to tell if the flag is below or above you, and it gives the adjustments to your yardage. Now, what's good about that is even though you can't use that feature in a competition, it just trains your eye to think about that a little bit more when you are in a competition and get used to the adjustments that you need to make. Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at today is my golf bag. This is the 2017 limited edition TaylorMade US Open bag. I absolutely love this bag. It's got so many cool little details about the 2017 US Open, which was at Erin Hills Golf Club. It's got the little clovers on the side of the bag. I obviously don't take it around everywhere with me because it is a big bag, but yeah, absolutely love it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video.